Here we have Captain America the Captain. Captain America the Captain is a omnibus. Well, I think it's considered a trade because it's either a really big trade, a massive trade, or a small omnibus. Well, I've heard online that it's a trade, so whatever. This is a trade containing 20 issues, issues 332 to 350 of Captain America, and this is a great story arc. It's Mark Gruenwald's arguably magnum opus, is what a lot of people say. I don't know. I really like Streets of Poison. People think that Streets of Poison sucks. I really like it. It's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite, run of Captain America. Whatever. This is great. Ran from August of 87 to February of 89. So quite a number of years here, and it's crazy how many changes were around, that these changes lasted for that long, right? There's some massive changes here. Let's go over, I'll go over a brief synopsis of it first, then I'll talk about I'll talk about a brief synopsis, and then I'll go over the quality of the book and if you should pick it up or not, and then I'll kind of get into more hairy details here. Basically, the story is about Captain America and how the paperwork and things he signed originally to become Captain America back in the 40s, those have different stipulations that he wasn't adhering to. And for decades now, he hasn't been doing exactly what he was supposed to do back in 1941. And since he hasn't been, there's new management basically in whatever government agency oversees superhero activities. I forget what it's called, but basically this new agency, or these new members of this organization, bring this to light and basically say that either Captain America has to work for them from now on and not work for the Avengers, or he has to throw in his shield and give over the name of Captain America, give up the name of Captain America, because it's U.S., it's a property of the U.S. government, so to speak. And that doesn't, sit well with Captain America, obviously, because he, despite his opinions on the America that he wants America to be, he understands that if he's limited under the U.S. government, he's not going to be able to do everything that he normally does. He's not going to be able to, that there's corruption, obviously, and he's going to be meddling with things that that he's trying to stop, the corruption of the U.S. So he's kind of stuck. Should he just throw in the towel and give up being Captain America? Could he continue being Captain America and have the U.S. government oversee his activities? But what heinous acts will they want him to do, if they want him to do any? Will his U.S. government not betray him? Will he really not have to do anything that he'll regret? Because if he is going to be forced to, and he goes AWOL, that's going to make things, even worse. So he really doesn't know what to do. And he talks about, what about all the friends and all the partners and people that have helped me along the way? He can't abandon that. He can't abandon the Avengers. So he's really stuck, between a rock and a hard place, doesn't exactly know what to do. And at the same time, while Captain America is in a hotel room thinking it over, calling a bunch of people and asking what they think he should do, the Super Patriot, as you can see up here, was a rival for Captain America, a hero, a kind of anti-hero, you could say, that wanted to be a hero badly but never had never really lived up to what he wanted to be, you could say. A hotshot that thought he was thinks of himself as a superhero, but in a way he's not. And that's kind of the beauty of the character. And Mark Gruenwald does a great job at writing this as a whole, but especially at writing Super Patriot and making him, as you'll see in this first issue, so it's not really spoilers, he becomes the new Captain America. Captain America decides to resign and goes on the road and has to try and basically find himself, and Battlestar then becomes the new Captain America. He's more than happy to take up the mantle, but the problems start arising because you start to notice that he's not really exactly fit to be Captain America, so to speak. And that's where the first issue is left off. That's basically the plot, and it gets crazy. You basically follow Captain America and his quest to become quest to kind of figure out what his meaning is and what his purpose is without Captain America, without a shield and everything. Who is he? Who is the man under the mask, really? And what is his purpose if he decides not to be Captain America anymore? Should he still keep up superheroing? Should he just throw in the towel? Is he too old to do what he does? It's really great, all the commentary, and I guess, as you'll see here, and as you can probably guess, he decides, I don't really think this is spoilers because it happens early on, but Captain America does decide to keep superheroing, but under a different alias, and with his team. He forms a team basically of his friends that were with him before, the Falcon and Nomad and what's her name? Someone else I'm forgetting the name of currently, but anyways, he forms a team and becomes basically a different superhero. And then not Battlestar, what's his name? Super Patriot. And Super Patriot becomes Captain America, but isn't able to fully live up to what Captain America set beforehand, and starts kind of causing a lot of trouble for the Bureau, and gets in trouble, let's just put it that way, and things don't necessarily go as planned, and crap hits the fan, let's just put it that way. If you want to read Captain America, this is a great place to start. This it's really great. I really enjoyed this. 520 pages, 20 issues in total, as I think I already stated. A lot of meat on this trade's bones, so much so that it's like almost an omnibus at this point, softcover omnibus, but the main issue, though, is that this was printed in like 2011. So if you want to get your hands on this, there might be a later printing than that, but I know it hasn't been printed for a number of years, and that's why they're actually reprinting this in the summer. But there's a few issues. The new printing doesn't contain issues 332. It starts at 333, meaning you don't get the issue that I flipped through up here. You don't get the choice where Captain America decides whether he's going to be Captain America or not. You don't get to see that Battlestar, that you don't get to see the Super Patriot, Battlestar is Bucky, the new Bucky, that is friends with, is Battlestar's partner when he becomes Captain America. And you don't get to see all that. You don't get to see Captain America make the choice. You don't get to see you don't get to see the new captain get to see Battlestar make any choices. None of that. It's the whole setup is gone because it starts at 333 instead of 332. The new printing that's coming this summer, and it looks like it's going to be in slightly better condition as far as I saw, but I don't know if it's enough to really warrant missing that issue, and I don't know if it'll have any bonuses. I don't know. This doesn't have any bonuses, sadly. When it ends on the last issue here, it ends, right? You flip the page and there's a little house ad, but that's it. You get some advertisements here, but that's just on the cardstock kind of cover, basically. So that's a real bummer. And this, I don't know if it still is. I think the price went down once the announcement of a reprinting came out, and it definitely probably the price will go down once the reprinting comes out. But this, the condition I got it in wasn't that good. You could probably get it in better condition. But the issue is that when I got it, it was still going for about double the rate of MSRP, so about $80. So when compared to MSRP, which originally was only $40, and I was able to get it for about that, a little bit more than that. By winning an eBay auction. I didn't get it in the best condition, but so that's kind of the thing. Should you try and hunt down this, or should you wait until the reprinting? Well, I think it matters. On the one hand, like I said, you're not getting any bonuses with this. The paper quality is nice, but it's not super glossy. It's a bit thin. You got to be a bit gentle with it. The binding's not bad at all. It's a little bit of a tight binding, but once you get like part of the way through the book sits fine once you get part of the way through the book, as you can see here. So that's good for sure. A bit of gutter loss, but not a lot, because there's borders around the panels and such. So I don't exactly know. It's up to you, really. Got to weigh the pros and cons. And with this, you have issue 332. The reprinting, you don't. The reprinting seems like it's a bit in better condition, better page quality. This, you're not going to get that. You also didn't get any bonuses, but once the new printing comes out, this might actually be cheaper. It might end up being cheaper, or so you just kind of gotta weigh your options, see what you can get this for. You might be able to get this for a good price, like I did. Don't pay $80 for it. Just buy the reprint at that point. But Yeah, and of course, if you get the reprint, you could always just pick up issue 332 in a single issue form. It's not too expensive at all. Most issues from this time period aren't very expensive. That's why I collect them. And so basically, we get to. I'll continue with the story and kind of get into more nitty-gritty details. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll kind of tell you more what goes on and some of the cool aspects and some of my favorite issues in this. The new Bucky and the new Captain America start their training, and as they're doing their training, they realize that their old friends, so to speak, Battlestar and Super Patriots, their friends basically, are trying to blackmail them that if they're not able to join the agency and be heroes along with them, they're going to let out their secret identity that they told them, and that's going to look bad for the Bureau. It might get them fired from being the new Bucky and the new Captain America, and it's just not going to be good at all. It's going to put a big bullseye basically over their head, and we get to see that later in the series that it really does put a big bullseye over their head, but they think they're going to subdue them by sneaking out in the middle of the night, and well, after this, they go out on their first mission here, but later on they decide that they're going to sneak out or is it further back? Anyways, that they're going to sneak out and rough their friends up basically, and tell them that if they do that, they're going to screw everybody over. It's not gonna work out, so don't do that basically, and rough them up. But when they do that, they accidentally kill a few people in the process, and it starts the downward spiral for the characters, so to speak, and and then things like that keep happening. The Battlestar and the Super Patriot, I keep forgetting their names. I'll just say the new Captain America and the new Bucky, basically, because that's what they are. So the new Captain America and the new Bucky end up. He's not called Bucky for long because there's racial connotations that are referenced. So his name is changed to Battlestar. But anyways, those two characters end up making similar mistakes in the future. They're told that they're supposed to go on some mission of some kind. They accidentally do something they're not supposed to, or they purposely do something they're not supposed to, and they end up just making things worse and worse for the Bureau, and inadvertently worse for them. And eventually some stuff hits the fan, and the new Captain America ends up not being able to be Captain America anymore because some stuff happens. I'm not gonna spoil it, but some stuff happens that basically sets him over the edge, and he loses his mind, so to speak, and becomes a supervillain in a way. And it's insane to see, in a way, not technically a supervillain, but he totally loses his mind, and it's sad to see, but it's an amazing scene. I'm not going to show it off here, but it's an amazing scene that really shows the emotional impact that Grunwald is able to inject into the storytelling. And at the same time, I'm missing talking about the normal Captain America that ends up calling himself the Captain, and dresses in black and red and white instead of blue, red, and white, because he's not able, more than just not being able to use the Captain America name, use the shield, he's also not able to use any of the likenesses of Captain America, because again, it's property of the US government. So Captain America, the original Captain America, ends up, like I said, forming a team with his friends, and they go on a series of missions and try and continue the legacy that Captain America started. And they end up needing to side with Diamondback, which she's one of the members of the Serpent Society, and the Serpent Society, which is a group that I thought Grunwald started, a bad group of evil, like lizard, serpent, supervillains, basically, and they basically are trying to kill the president. Yeah, kill the president and poison the White House, Washington D.C., poison the city, and in turn basically cause distrust for the U.S. government and overthrow America, so to speak. And Diamondback doesn't want that to happen, and she has to turn good basically and join the fight against the Serpent Society. And the Serpent Society basically crumbles from within, and that's really cool to see, because it's like there's villains, and then there's like super villains. a lot of these members really were a team. They were bad guys, but they were together. They had this trust, and this trust was totally destroyed during all this, and it's really a cool scene. And this issue is probably my favorite. It's issue 3, I think it's 344, 340. It's just awesome here, as you can see, just really cool. Don't tread on me. Anyways, I'll put the name of the issue or the number of the issue on screen here, and it's just awesome. But I almost think that it finished off too fast. I think that if the issue was a bit longer, or if the next few issues it felt like things were reversed back to the status quo too quickly, and the whole serpent, that there's basically poison, that they poison the water supply and try and turn all the city, or the Serpent Society tries to basically turn everyone in Washington D.C. into these like mutant lizard creatures, as you can see here, and it's just crazy. Buildings on fire and everything. It's awesome, but it goes back to the status quo. It gets wiped way too quickly, which was a bummer. I wanted to see kind of them need to kind of clean up the mess. It would have been really awesome if, this is kind of spoilers here, as you can see, but I'll mark something on the chapters that I put, so you're able to see that I'm kind of more talking about spoilers now. But I really wish they would have had things, because at the end, Captain America is able to turn everyone. I think over time, as long as they're not continually given the poison or something, they eventually will turn back human. I think that was how it resolved. So eventually, the president sweats out the poison, so to speak, and turns back into the president of the United States. And of course, there's kind of a cheeky nature that the president becomes a reptile, a serpent. Both makes me think of the lizard people kind of conspiracies, but also that the president is slimy, so to speak. And I really wish that this went on for more issues, this whole story arc, and that they really had to try and figure out, let's say it would have been really cool if the city was like in a lockdown, for example, like maybe the U.S. government has the whole, all of Washington, D.C. become kind of, or, that area, have that be in kind of like a lockdown, state of New York, escape from New York kind of situation. And maybe like the U.S. government just wants to like bomb the place, or maybe they're trying to come up with some kind of formula or something. I don't know. It would have been cool to see kind of them need to more deal with the fallout of those issues, but it really, like I said, it just kind of reverses, and it kind of felt anticlimactic that they could just sweat it out, and that eventually it would just, as long as they weren't continually consuming the poison, that they just turn back into normal people again. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but nonetheless, it was still a really cool thing, and it's the issues just get crazier and crazier, and you get to see battles between the Captain and Captain America, the new Captain America, and basically what they think of one another, which is quite interesting. And there's quite a bit of stuff going on with old villains coming back to the forefront. The Red Skull is involved. I'm not going to really spoil anything, I don't think, but the Red Skull gets involved, and that's really cool to see. Before this, he was dead, so most people, of course, guessed that he'd come back, or knew that he'd come back. I don't know how big of a spoiler that is, but again, this is kind of the more spoiler section. But he's involved with all this and is pulling some of the strings, which is awesome to see, and was a super cool reveal. And it's just really awesome. If you're looking to read Captain America, this is it. I could keep going, but I'm going to wrap it up here. The great action. Grunwald is amazing at writing. There's amazing emotional scenes, cool dichotomies to see how the differences between, Captain America and how he handled the mantle, and what he does when he's stripped of being Captain America, and how he basically was still Captain America even after he was stripped of that, even after he'd lost the support of his friends and everything else, or some of his friends, and how even after the new, and to see how the new captain takes it, John Walker, there you go, that's his real name, how he how he deals with being Captain America and how seeing a normal person try and live up to the Captain America mantle was really awesome. And also the whole thing where I said he slowly loses his sanity, that was a cool wrinkle to the story, and it was just great. Again, you're looking to read Captain America, this is it. Definitely check this out. It's going to be hard to kind of decide which one you want to get, right? Should you wait until the summer? Should you just pick up this? I kind of told you the pros and cons, so you can kind of weigh that yourself. But other than that, I just want to say have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go eat lunch. Goodbye. Aloha.